everybody, Anthony Dodge here with the Model Train Outsider, and today we're going to do a little running session with something special. This has been a long time coming. In fact, exactly 2 years coming. When I first started collecting trains, one of the rules I had was I was only going to buy model trains of trains I'd actually ridden on. And that lasted for about a year or so, although it's still the rule. And I was YouTubing, trying to learn some things about some of the trains I was collecting, and came across a page where a channel that talked about railjets. And I had not seen railjets or even heard of railjets before. And they showed a Czech and an Austrian railjet, and I just thought these were the prettiest trains I'd ever seen, and my brain immediately said, I gotta have one. So you already seen in a previous running session and in other running sessions, I talked about my Austrian railjet, the very pretty, that maroon and red and dark gray, charcoal gray mix. It's beautiful. Well, actually, even before I bought the Austrian railjet, I bought a Czech railjet, just the locomotive. And I actually came across it because I had gone to a Facebook page for Miracle users, and I said, hey, does anybody know where I could get this particular locomotive? It's technically it was Pico 58915 or 59815. After I do the video, I'll relook it up and give you the numbers. But anyhow, this was AC 3-rail for Miracle Systems, and it had come into on sale before I got into trains, so now it's sold out. No shops had it, but I really want this locomotive. And a gentleman named Andrew Chevalier, who runs AC Euro Trains out of Stockton, California. I'll have a link down below because if I have influence on anybody, if you're into European trains in America, especially Pico, he's a guy to look into. He knows his stuff, and he is probably one of the best people to do business with. Anyhow, he chimed in on the same Miracle page I was on Facebook and said, I don't have the AC version, but I have a DC version, and I can fit it out in AC for you. And I said, name your price. And he gave me a great deal on it. I think his taking the DC version and making it AC was actually cheaper than if I had bought the AC version up front. He did an amazing job. He sent it to me, and one of my running sessions, the non-narrated, just train sessions that when I was filming my trains just to have fun before I ever thought of doing a YouTube channel, I have a little 3-minute video where I ran through it. Loved it. It was gorgeous. The work he did on it, the programming he did on it, it was amazing. And so I said, hey, is there any chance I could actually get cars for this? And Pico, in fact, made some very basic, cheap cars that I bought a bunch of in Germany in 2017 when I went to Germany. And I brought them back, and I said, can you convert these? And he said, well, yeah. Long story short, I sent the cars to him. He needed the locomotive as well to make sure it all worked up. The cars weren't as easy to convert because they really weren't designed to be converted, but he pulled it off anyhow. Problem is, when he sent it all back to me, the U.S. mail dropped the package. And the chip got damaged, which I didn't know. I put it on my table to run it after I got it back, and it wasn't working. It did a zzz, and that was it. It was done. And when we opened it up, we saw one of the wires had been crunched and pinched, and it wound up shorting the wire, the chip out. Well, I was in the middle of some other work and my basement reconstruction and so forth, and I just put the train aside for a while. Never really got to use it. I tried to run the cars with other locomotives, but I never ran that Czech Railjet. This was for months. all of 2018 while I was rebuilding this basement table from my original long rectangle until I redid the table. My locomotive sat there. You'll actually see it in a couple of the old videos, the Model Train Outsider episodes. It was sitting places. It just sitting there waiting for me to send it back to California. He was willing to fix it for free. I just kept delaying sending it back. One thing led to another, and it just, as much as I'm working on the table, I'm not thinking about my Czech Railjet. Anyhow, to shorten this long story before I show the running session, I finally sent it back a few weeks ago, and the chip had been upgraded from other companies, but the new chip didn't fit with this old system. However, it worked out. Anyhow, got a chip. He ordered the chip from Germany, got it in, and I just got it back this week. I got it back on, I think it was Tuesday. I did a run-in with it, and it was working great. And then last night, I got all the cars out and put my Czech Railjet together, locomotive and cars, for the first time ever, to see if they all work. And yeah, they worked. It was fantastic. I have never seen these cars lit up. I've never seen the full thing together until last night. So today's running session, I'm going to show you a little bit of this amazing Czech Railjet. All right, so this is the locomotive. It is a Siemens Taurus 1216. I'll bring around and you can see that. It's on there. It's 1216 236. This is Pico model 59815. And it is the České dráhy, the Czech Rail System Railjet. It is the same train. It's actually, they're all made by the same company for Austria and the Czech Republic. They run between Austria and its various neighbors, specifically Germany and Hungary. The cars, there's no real difference between this and the Austrian Railjet. Now, this is a short version. This is a non-prototypical version. I'd probably need to add at least 3 more cars for it. To look at the detail and all the wiring up here, all the colors. A lot of times you don't get that much detail in the color. So it is a fantastic looking train, but I have never had it all hooked up with all its cars. And I'm going to move my tablet here so you can maybe get a view of the whole thing here. But I currently just have 3 passenger cars in the control wagon. It would really need a minimum of 3 more cars. But for now, I just want this as my short train. But I love the color scheme on this. It's not maybe quite as vibrant as the Austrian Railjet, but this is still an amazing car and locomotive set. So let's look a little bit at the functions. First of all, we've got its lights. It's rear lights, tail lights, but we can change direction, and now we see its full light systems. We can get the sound of it running, firing up that Taurus sound, nice and strong. Station announcements in Czech and then in English. How thorough is that? What do you say we give this a run around the system? All right, let's add some company. So the first guy we've got fired up is my ICE3 coming through, because we always want an ICE3 firing through. And then we'll come here and we'll add a couple other guys. And we'll let them get fired up and get going. Hold that guy up a second. And we've got now the red Regio bond coming through. And a little metronome running here. We're going to change directions on one guy here. Going to change the Regio bond's direction here. But really, this is my star of the show today. Alright, I'm trying to do this hands-free and let you see a little bit of everything while I control things with my tablet. Just enjoy a few passes. Watch these guys coming through. The metronome again, followed by the Nord-West bond we've got started. So we are running 5 trains. And way in the back you can see that Czech Railjet coming through again. And we're going to watch the metronome go around. And let's catch that Railjet coming through as everybody else comes through. So this is quite a happy day to actually be having my Czech Railjet coming. I'm going to pop the lights off here and let these trains show their light up. I don't know what you guys think of that, but how cool is that? a little too dark, but you can even, if you look close in the background there, you can see my IC2, which I'm not running right now, is lit up. So here comes that Railjet again. It is so nice to have that guy running. After 2 years since I first bought the locomotive, and almost 2 years since I bought the cars. I am in the process of trying to get a couple of different small cameras set up, so I'll be doing maybe the May running session will see a little bit better camera work than what I'm currently doing here with a larger standard handy cam. I bought one little micro camera, but it doesn't one more time, let's catch this guy running through. What a gorgeous train. But yeah, I got the one micro camera, but it doesn't stream, so I can throw it on a track and film the car, but I'd rather be able to see what I'm seeing when I do it. So I thought it streamed, but apparently it didn't. Yeah, it was $40. So anyhow, I hope you're enjoying a little bit of my German trains, and in this case, one special Czech train getting ready to come around. Turn the lights back on. And as he's coming around in his full glory this one last time, how awesome it is to see this guy running. And as he leaves, I will also leave and say goodbye.